It's almost comical that I'm going to take this massive, massive concept, one of the main concepts in all of sociology, and be like, I'm going to lecture about it in less than 10 minutes. So let's jump in. Sociological paradigms are some of the ways that we look and organize and understand the world. There's three of them. And so, first of all, the paradigm is kind of the way that we explain what goes on. And like I said, the three are social conflict, structural functionalism, and symbolic interactionism. And if you're like, wait, what? Don't worry, you totally know these, and they're all impacting us daily. So I'm going to explain these, and you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that totally does happen. So the other thing you need to know about paradigms is they come in two different levels. So there's macro level, which is looking at things on a large scale. So it's not just looking at the fact that you are taking a college class, it's looking at the entire system of higher education. It's not just thinking about the fact that maybe somebody had to go see their physician or go to a trip to the urgent care. It's looking at the entire medical institution. So looking at these large scale things in society. And then there's micro level, which is just looking at small little interactions. Two of the paradigms are macro level and one is micro level. So the first paradigm that we're going to talk about, social conflict. This is the grumpy ass, pessimistic, ticked off paradigm, but it has good reason to be. It's not wrong. So this is a macro level paradigm. We're looking at large scale societal phenomenon. And basically what social conflict is saying is the reason that society operates the way that it operates is all based on social inequalities. Some people have more opportunities, rights, resources than others. And speaking of resources, a lot of them are scarce and they're controlled, right? If you're like, wait, what? Yeah, money. Do we all have enough? Maybe some of us are fortunate enough too. Housing, the cost of housing. Do we have enough money to afford the current cost of housing? It's getting dicey. It's getting really, really problematic for more and more and more people. It has always been fraught with fear and unstable aspects for many people in our society. But that now is happening to people more and more as the cost of housing continues to kind of skyrocket, right? And so affordable housing, it's a scarce resource. Who controls that? Um, Access to higher education can be a scarce resource. Who controls that? So what it basically, I even something like social media usage. Do you know who the scarce resource is? Us, our attention. That's why they invented an algorithm to like suck us in to a never ending feed of just go, spend all of your time with your eyeballs in front of this consuming. It's because we're the scarce resource. Our attention is the scarce resource. Who controls that? Right? And so that's what social conflict is taking a look at. What are we fighting over as far as like not having enough and who actually has control? Okay, structural functionalism. This is another macro level, institutional level paradigm. And so what structural functionalism is saying is like the whole premise of society is the fact that it's all these institutions working together and they're all counting on each other. And so if you think about it, the way that you really kind of know that we're all counting on each other, like as you can see the examples that are listed there, I mentioned also like the medical institution and things along those lines. Well, the medical institution is counting on the education institution to teach people the skills that they need and the degrees that they need to work in the medical institution. Can you see how that works? Families are relying on the medical institution for the care of themselves and their family members. So like they're also counting on they're also counting on the education system in numerous ways. Like we're counting on government, we're counting on the economy. And what happens is if one is struggling, all of society is going to be impacted. If the education system is struggling, which some may argue it is, it's going to impact all of society. If the medical institution is struggling, if some might say that it is, it's going to impact all of society. So basically, what structural functionalism is saying is all these main institutions are working together to create society, and they all need to be kind of thriving to do well. They need to not be weakened, and if they are, it's going to impact the others. So that's what structural functionalism is. Then symbolic interactionism. This is the little micro level paradigm. And so this is saying that the whole premise of society, the way that society operates, is based on symbols. Um, Me speaking all the words that I'm like rapidly speaking here, they're all symbols, right? We just understand this particular same language that I'm speaking, but that's all symbols. Clothing, if we were all together, and the clothing that we were wearing, that's all symbols. Again, I will turn to social media as an example. I mean, it's just a symbol factory, right? So symbols are everywhere. And the really interesting thing about symbols, all the visual stuff that we see and everything else, is they're constantly changing. Um, I've used an example over the years, and it's really interesting because this example became something in society, but then it even changed and went away, and it's like it doesn't matter anymore. So, like, what are some of I still I will cite myself again as like middle-aged lady. Um, some of the words that you use. Let me see. I don't even know. Well, then the moment that I happen to be recording this, you might be listening to this well in the future, but you'll go back, oh, yeah, that's right. Whatever the whole 6-7 thing is, right? And that was really fascinating because 6-7, like, so often, whatever trends there are, people who are maybe past like young adulthood don't know what the trends are anyway. But it was interesting because with the 6-7 situation, even the young adults were like, what the heck does this mean? And technically, I guess nothing, whatever, but who knows? And is 6-7 going to be a joke for years to come? Like sporting events when the score is 6-7 or it's 67 or whatever it is everybody going to be like, oh, 6-7? Maybe they will. Maybe for the rest of your life. But maybe it'll be like, oh yeah, remember when we did that? And now it's gone. So the example I used to always use, and I guess I'm still using it, right? Ratchet, which is a tool in a toolbox that like is, I don't know, in your grandparents' garage. It's supposed to like tighten down bolts or something, right? But why would I bring up ratchet as a symbol? I don't know, because like 10 years ago, it all of a sudden became like this gendered insult. And it was gendered too, right? Not everybody was ratchet. But like, and now the fact that that word's gone. So like, what are the words? What are the symbols? What are the clothing? Um, I don't know. Baggy jeans and then skinny jeans and then back to baggy jeans, crop tops, and it's fascinating when you reach a certain age that the things that you think are cool, well, no, wait, the things that people who are young think are cool is actually the stuff that you wore when you were young. Like all these trends kind of circle back around in different ways. That's symbolic interactionism. Symbols make up society. They're constantly changing. So again, these were the three main paradigms, ways of looking at the world. Social conflict, grumpy, we don't have enough, who has control over it, like fighting over those scarce resources. Symbolic interactionism is all these institutions in our society are counting on each other. And if one of them is struggling, all of them are going to struggle. And then our symbolic interactionism, all of society is symbols, and those symbols are always, always changing.